Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Namak Parvati, Padaye Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsavesa, Sivasidambara, தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் எடுக்கும் மாக்கதை இந்தமிழ் செய்யுளாய் நடக்கும் மேன்மை நமக்கருள் செய்திட தடக்கை ஐந்துடை தாழ் செவி நீழ்முடி கடற்களிற்றை கருத்துள்ளிருத்துவாம் உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியின் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவான் சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேரிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேல் தெய்வம் இல்லனம் நான்மறைச் செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம் உயிர் துணையே தில்லை வாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொலையதாம் திருத்தொண்ட தொகைடியார் பதம் போற்றி உலையவர் புராணகதை உலகிரியை விரித்து உரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்தூர் செக்குளார் அடிபோற்றி ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் மணிவும் பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து குடிடுமே திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to Periyapuranam Discourse series. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, today we are here to think through the wonderful history of Empiran, Sandeswara Puranam. Let me pay my obeisance to the lotus feet of David Chekla Swamigal and also to the 57th Pontiff of Gomathinayagam, Sri Guru Masanidhanam Asaranam Manikavasika Swamigal as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with the Brahman Sandeswara Puranam. So today we're going to think through the Sandeswara Puranam. Sandeswara is the last Nayanar of the Mummayar Ulagata Sarakam song. So after completing Sandeswara, we'll be moving on to Empiran. Before we get into Puranam, some important note about Sandeswara in Thiruchitrambalam. Empiran Nambiyarur Swamigal in Thiruchitrambalam, he reserved 3 lines for Empiran Sandeswara. Mayme Tirumeni Valipadamika. வெகுண்டெழுந்த தாழ்தால் மனைவினால் அறிந்த அம்மையான் அடி சண்டி பெருமானுக்கடியே ஆரூரன் ஆரூரமான. So he reserved 3 lines for Sandeswara. So he reserved 3 lines for Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal as well. Ambara Varivandu Manam Naramalal Madamalar Kondrayan Adiyal Alpena Empiran Sambandhan Adiyarkum Adi. So 3 lines reserved for both of them. And why? Because Thiruchitrambalam was the son of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. Goddess Parvati came all the way from, both of them came all the way from Kailash and gave the milk. Puramerita Tirumahara, that's what the Chekla Swamigal prices Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal. So son of Lord Shiva and Parvati, 3 lines for Thiruchitrambalam. Sandeswara is called Sengalur Pillayar. Swami said to Sandeswara, நம்பொருட்டால் இன்ற தாதை விளையிருந்தாய் அடுத்த தாதை இனி உனக்கு நாம். You punished, you killed your father because of me, as he interrupted your puja and your love towards me, and I am your father going forward. So Sandeswara is also the son of Lord Shiva. That's why 3 lines for Sandeswara in Thiruchitrambalam and also for Thiruchitrambalam Swami. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So Nayanar was from the wonderful city Thiruchengalur. If you recall, we discussed about this in the previous classes. Sengalur was one of the 5 key capitals of Chola Empire. Now it looks like a small village, but once upon a time, it was one of the capitals of Chola Empire. Tirumul Nayanar also mentioned about Sandeswara Nayanar. So he was so old, so old, minimum 10,000 years old. That's all I can say. So the Chikla Swamigal composed a wonderful phrase in Periyapuranam explaining the greatness of the city, the Sengalur. He says, "Pannin payanam நல்லிசையும் பாலின் பயனாம் இன்சுவையும் கண்ணின் பயனாம் பெருகொளியும் கருத்தின் பயனாம் எழுத்தஞ்சும் விண்ணின் பயனாம் பொழிமழையும் வேதப் பயனாம் சைவமும் போல் மண்ணின் பயனாம் அப்பதியின் வளத்தின் பெருமை வரம்புடைத்தோ." Which means Sengalur was as useful to the world as the music was to poetry. Pannin payanam nalisai. And then the taste for milk, palin payanam insui. Light for vision, kannin payanam peruguli. You have light, you have vision because of the light in your eyes. Panchaksharam for the mind, karuthin payanam எழுத்தஞ்சு. Mind. You have mind to think through Panchaksharam. And rain for the sky. Sky is there to give us rain. And the next interesting phrase is Veda Payanam Sevam. Shaivism for Vedas. Vedas are the fundamentals of Shaivism. If you go against Vedas, you break the foundation of Shaivism. You're out of Shaiva religion itself. So Sengalur was as useful to the world as the milk, as the taste for the milk, and music for the poetry, light for vision, panchakshas for mind, rain for sky, and Shaivisa for Vedas. Such a wonderful city. So in that wonderful city, Sengalur, there was a wonderful couple from Vedic Brahmin community called Echadattan and his wife Pavitra lived there. They were blessed with a baby boy by the grace of Almighty Lord Shiva. They named the boy Visara Sarma, none other than our Nayanar, Sandeswara Nayanar. So his initial name of Visara Sarma. Then he was given the post of Sandeswara Nayanar by the Almighty Lord Shiva. We'll discuss that the next class. So Nayanar was so deeply interested. Nayanar was a staunch devotee of Shiva from day one and so deeply interested in Vedas, since he has carried with him the love and affinity for Shiva and Vedas from his previous birth. So, because our bhakti doesn't end in one birth, right? It continues for multiple births until it reaches the final destination. When Vichara Sarvanar attained the age of 7 years, as per the community rules and regulation, his parents performed his Ubanayanam, Punu Tirkalyanam, they call it Ubanayanam, and wanted him to learn Vedas. So they put him in Veda Padasala. Nayanar went to Veda Padasala. Then the teachers, the senior teachers, Vedic teachers, was trying to teach Vedas to Visara Sarvanar, but he has learned all the Vedas and Agamas in his previous birth. He had them all in his mind. And when they try to teach him, in order to realize the secrets and many arts that are necessary for the advancement of knowledge, the Vedic teachers inquired about their condition before reciting them with Visala Sarvanar. But the teachers were amazed, shocked and amazed to see the skill of Visala Sarvanar, which was completely explained, because Nayanar knew everything the most senior Vedic teacher could ever know. in the Parasala of Vedas. So that was completely explained, and the teacher who recited the arts through him were amazed. David Cheklo Swamigal wonderfully explains that in Periyapuranam. குலவுமறையும் பலகளையும் கொளுத்துவதன் முன் கொண்டமைந்து நிலவும் உணர்வின் திறம் கண்டு நிறுவுமறையோ at the same time the teachers were trying to teach him Vedas to Empiran Sarvanar, but before they do that they got shocked and amazed by knowing that Visara Sarvanar already knew everything. There's nothing more they can teach him. He's at the teacher's level now. The kid is at the teacher's level. அழகில் கலையின் பொருட்களை ஆடும் கழலே எனக் கொண்ட செலவு மிகுந்த சிந்தையத்தில் இந்த சிறிய பெருந்தகையார். All right, he learned everything. Then what's next? What's the outcome of that learning? Cheklo Swami says, having thus chosen many arts, the little expert, Siriya Perundayar, Sarvanar, realized in his active mind the truth that all the objects of the infinite arts, alahil kalayin porutkiyalle, are at least the servitors of the dancing Lord in golden court of the Thiruchitrambalam. Hara Hara Mahadev. That's the end. That's the purpose of learning all Vedas and Agamas. So he had the intense love to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. And one day, Visara Sarvanar watched a scene which affected him deeply. He was on his way to the Parasala, Veda Parasala. He saw a cow nudged a cow herd with its horns. Then the cow herd got angry, so annoyed by this act from cow, and then he immediately beat the cow with a stick. Seeing that, Sandeswara got shocked and he rushed to him immediately and stopped him from further attacking the cow. He felt really sorry for the cow and then elaborated to the cow herd the greatness of cow in Shaivism. He said that we get the holy ash, vibhuti from the cow. We get Panchakavya, 8 of it performing puja, both in temple and also on of the puja. And he went on listing out everything that Agamas and Vedas were praising about cow. David Cheklo Swamigal wonderfully composed those into 3-4 songs. I'm going to read that out for you devotees. Tangum Ahila Yonigatkum Melam Perumai Tahimayana Pongu Punida Titangal Yellam Yendrum Ponduvana Tungamarar Turmunivar Ganangal Suldu Priyada Angam Anektum Tamudaya Allavo Alman. Which means among all the birds in the world, cows are more proud and divine than any kind of life. May all the holy waters like Ganga and all the Tirtham, Punya holy waters of grace be matched. And these cows have all the organs that are surrounded by Devas, high gods, sages, and the Almighty Lord Shiva. Then he goes on further. Ayasarapinal Petrandre Mandul Nadamrium Nayanark Vadavadium Nadium Naguvin Tale Todayum Mayaveni Tirumudi Mel Virimbiade Ludurka Tuya Tiruvanjanam Aindumalikum Urimate Surabigada. On the day of birth of her calf, it starts giving us the Panchakavya, and which the Almighty Lord loves to have them for Abhisheka. The Lord who dances in the golden assembly on the braided hair. So what else do we need? What else do we need more than that to praise the cow? It gives us milk. It gives us vibhuti, cow dung, and then cow urine, gomutra, and then ghee, and so on. And curd as well, Panchakavya. And then he continues further. Seelam udaya kokulangal, sirakkum tahamit devaruda, காலமுழுதும் உலகனைத்தும் காக்க முதற் காரணராகும் நீலகண்ட செய்யசடை நிறுத்தர் சாத்து நீர்தர் மூலம் அவதாரம் செய்யும் ஊட்டமென்றால் முடிவென்னோம். Where do we get the vibhuti from? The vibhuti comes from cow dung. Cow gives us the holy dung. And it gives us, literally, it gives us vibhuti. If cow gives us the vibhuti that the Almighty Lord, Neelakantar, the dancing Lord, Lord Shiva, wears, and then what else can we say? There is no end to praise the greatness of cow, and you're beating that cow. Such a big sin. Ullum tagame ini per ulave. Do I have to tell you any further? விளைமான் மறிக்கன்று துள்ளும் கரத்தார் அணி பணியின் சுடர்சூழ் மணிகள் சுரநதினை தள்ளும் சிடையா தேவர்கள் தன் பிராட்டியுடனே சேரமிசை கொள்ளும் சிரமால் விடைத்தேவர் குலம் என்றோ இச்சுரபி குலம். The Lord, along with Goddess Parvati, sits over the great Nandi Devar, which belongs to the same cattle community the cow belongs to. What else can I say? It's called the Surabhi Kulam. So the Surabhi has actually cow has 5 different groups. It can be the overall cow can be split into 5 different groups: Nandai, Pattirai, Surabhi, Susile, Sumani. So if you any cow, all the cows will belong to this 5 different categories. One of those 5 different categories, and it belongs to that one of those categories. Same community. So, and all the devas and devatas reside in the body of cow. Let me also give you a bit more information about how divine the cow is. Let's take a look at the name of the devas and the places they reside in cow's body. Vishnu, Lord Vishnu and Brahma live at the base of cow's horns. All the auspicious rivers occupy the tip of the horns. The Almighty Lord Shiva resides on its head. Goddess Parvati Devi resides in the middle of its forehead. Lord Murugan resides at the tip of its nose. Ashtadik Balagas reside inside the nostril of cow. Ashwini Kumaras live in its 2 ears. The sun and the moon live in the 2 eyes of the cow. Vayu resides in the teeth of cow, and Varuna Devan resides in its tongue. Saraswati Devi, wife of Brahmadeva, lives in the heart of cow. Yama and Yakshas live in its skull. The Devadas of Sandhi, especially when you do Sandhi in morning and evening, there are specific Devadas that bless us, and they reside in its lips. Indra Devan resides in its neck. Ard Devan resides in its mid-region. And Anilar live in its legs. Marudwar live in its knees. Nagas, all Nagas live in the tips of the hooves. Gandharvas live in the middle of the hooves. Celestial maidens from Devaloka live on the top of hooves. Then Pitru Devadas live in its waist region. Lakshmi Devi lives in its anus. So all Devas live in the end of its tail. The light rays live in the hair on the tail tip. Bhuma Devi lives in its stomach. All the oceans reside in its udders. The 3 fire of Yajna in its stomach, heart, and face. The Yaga and Yajna reside in its bones, and virtuous women reside in every part of the cow body. How holy the cow is. It gives us milk, curd, butter, ghee that needed for daily life. And also it gives us Panchakavya that are needed for Shiva Puja, both for Parartha and Anmartha Puja, both in temple and Puja and at home. So all the devas and gods reside in the various body parts of cow. It's so auspicious and divine for Shaivis. How can you beat such a holy animal? Then the cowherd got so scared by this lecture. Wow, whoa, I made a big scene. And I said, you don't need to do this auspicious work anymore. I will look after these cows myself. Then the cowherd, he got scared and he left. Nayanar was so happy to look after the cows and took very good care of them as if they were his own children. So devotees, this is important. What we learn from Sandeswara Puranam is cow is so auspicious to us. And nowadays, because of whatever reason, the cows are going through severe, painful experience in this current century. We cannot change the world. It can be changed only by the ruling kingdom. So what we can do, if you're a Shiva devotee and you're wearing vibhuti, right, it comes from cow. So we are grateful to cow, and to the best of our ability, we should make every effort to protect the cows. If you can save one cow from slaughter, it will be a great Shupunya. Because what happens is when the cow can no longer milk, they're actually sent to slaughter. Very unfortunate. I don't want to bring this up in this session, but you need to be aware of what's happening. None of the cow go through a peaceful death. None of the cow. 99.99% of cow in this world go through a painful death, which should not happen. It's not good for health. A blood of cow drops on the earth. It's not good for this world. Let's make every effort. If you can take care of one cow, based on your earning, right? I don't know how much you can afford, but to the best of your ability, you should make every effort to protect the cows. I mean, going to the temple and adapt an aged cow that you can take care of. Or there are multiple gosalas who take care of the cows. If you don't have that you don't have that level, that such a place in your home, you live in an apartment in cities, you can just finance those goshalas. You can help them. You're not able to help, there are people helping, and you help the people that help, that do Goshamraksha. It's very important, devotees. It's not about just worshipping Lord Shiva, it's all about our duty, common sense. Right? It's more than our mother. Cow is one of the Saptamatas we have. So mother cow needs to be protected. We see in Periyapuranam, it's widely prized in Vedas, and Agamas, and Puranas. So we learn Periyapurana and we stick to it. So we must worship cow and we should protect as much as we can where possible. Then Visal Sarma Nayanar, he started taking care of the cows. The cows were free from fear and felt loved, and in turn loved Visala Sarvanar as well. And because of the happiness, because they're extremely happy, they started yielding more and more milk as the days passed by. Especially the cows that have just given birth to their calves, and they started seeing Nayanar as their calf. Maraikandru, Siriya Perundayan, Maraikandru. Extremely placed cow love. I mean, if you have ever taken care of a cow, you would have personally experienced that. They love humans. Cow love humans. And if you spend a few weeks with a cow, they will never forget you. So they started giving more and more milk as the days passed by because they were so excited. And the milks started coming out by itself. without even doing anything. The Visarasarmanar didn't want to waste the excess milk oozing from the cows. It was just going to the sand on the earth. And then he wanted to make use of those milk, not to waste them, because the cow owners gave him the cows thinking he would take good care of them. So he decided not to, we cannot waste the milk. Let's just make a shivlinga on the bank of Mani River, and then so that we could do abhisheka for the shivlinga. So he made a shivlinga out of the sand, temple and gopuram as well, compound wall, everything all made from sand, made from sand, and he started doing abhisheka to Shiva using the milk. So rather than wasting the milk on the earth, now the milk is used for Shiva Puja, which is a great thing. And he did archana. He plucked flowers from the plants, and he was doing archana as well. And Lord Shiva was very much pleased with this, and he started reciting in the sand temple as well, in the regular temples built according to Agama rules. The cow started giving more and more milk. Visara Sarman performed the Shivarchana Abhisheka with great love and devotion, and the days were going just like that for a long time. Then there was a turning point in the story, which one day a trivial man who had no clue about Shiva Puja and what Visara was doing, he happened to watch this Aradhana and spread the news in the village. Then what happens next? We will cover that in the next class. Thiruchitrambalam என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளம் ஓங்கிட மன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகெல்லாம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் ஹர ஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே ஹர ஹர மகாதேவா சிற்றபேசா சிவசிதம்பரம் தென்னாருடைய சிவனை போற்றி நாட்டவர்க்கும் நிறைவா போற்றி திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.